What's up? How's everyone doing tonight? So it's Sunday night, even though it feels like Saturday night on channel 2 here. Gonna take some stuff out of my pockets here because I'm uncomfortable sitting here. I know my chair's creaking very loudly. I keep saying I'm going to get a new chair, but never seem to get around to it. I don't see anyone in the chat yet. There we go. Fraser, Marco, Kevin, good to see everyone. Where is everybody hailing from? If you want to put it in the chat. Oh man, my shoulder hurts right now. You guys can hear me okay, right? Turn up just a little bit. Let's see here. Check 1, 2. There we go. It's early in the morning in your country. Do I consider this late? It's actually not late, no. Not for me, but it's actually early for this channel. Sorry I haven't been posting much on here. You know, I went through this thing where I came out here and I was like, is this channel worth posting on? And I don't mean that is it worth posting on, but worth spending the amount of time I was spending. So what I did was I cut back posting here, and I cut back posting on Instagram for about a month or so. And all of a sudden, my YouTube channel did great, my main channel. I had the Sting interview, I had the Tommy Emmanuel interview, I had the Beatles video, I had all these big videos happen after I just focused on that channel for a while. And now I'm back to kind of, I'm going to get back and focus on here, making content for this channel. I did a video today. By the way, I'm having a sale. Kind of extended the Black Friday sale because I had so many people write to me. I said this yesterday in the live stream. It's not the same deal as the Black Friday. It's a little bit more expensive for all of my products, my educational things, my Beato book, my ear training program, PDF bundle, and Quick Lessons Pro guitar course. So if you want to get those as a Christmas present, this is a chance to get all of them. Buy them for someone else, whatever. Or if you want to just kind of, for the new year, improve what you're doing, become a better musician, like we all are trying to do all the time. Anyways, I posted it in Instagram. Quick lesson today. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, Rob just says, do you use the band hammer? I don't ever use the band hammer anymore. Well, I don't ever monitor my videos anymore. So it's anybody that gets band hammered is getting band hammered by Aaron or Billy. So that's kind of an old school second channel practice here. Let's see here. I don't use Instagram. Never will. Well, that's too bad because there's some great stuff on Instagram. Regardless of how people feel about Facebook, I don't use Facebook really, except to post my videos. I post links to my YouTube channel and get about 2 views from there. But that being said, I wouldn't be on here if it wasn't for Facebook, because back in 2015, I basically started this channel there. I did live shows. I made videos, mainly live videos though, when live streaming started on that. I think I had one live stream with about 50,000 people on it. It was with Dylan. This is after the after a couple of the perfect pitch viral videos. And this is when you used to be able to have viral videos on Facebook. Facebook back in 2015 is pretty much like TikTok is now. If you had something that had viral, if you had any kind of viral content, it would go viral there. It would go nuts. I mean, really, really crazy. And those Dylan videos are just, just went insanely viral. The first two especially. For those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, here I'll play you the video that I posted today. You can see it's like it's just a quick 38-second lesson. Here, I'll play it for you. Check it out. Quick lesson. It's cool to take ideas from other instruments and transfer them to guitar. I like doing that with the piano because piano things don't necessarily lay well on the guitar. If I'm improvising over a G minor chord, right, on the piano I might play a... But on guitar, that line sounds like this. So that's those are the kind of lessons I do. I know most of you know them, but those are the kind of lessons I've been doing on Instagram for probably 2 years or so, and that got me to start playing the guitar again. It's funny. I was Josh Scott, JHS Josh Scott sends me a thing yesterday or 2 days ago. It was from Music Radar, and what was it now? I just posted it on Instagram, on a Instagram story, and it says best online guitar personality 2021, Rick Beato. Let's see here. Hold on, where is it? Just lost it here. Let's see what it says here. I didn't know I was in the running for anything like that. It says, viewers love Beato. I always hate when people call me by my last name. I don't know why. It's like a pet peeve of mine. Viewers love Rick. How's that? Because he brings a rich and interconnected musical insight to all of his videos. Okay? He's able to share opinion as convincingly as theory. His breakdowns go deep at technique, yet he doesn't take himself too seriously, as proved by the Boomer Benz debate. Big names are starting to catch on too. Everyone from Tom Emanuel to Pat Metheny and Sting have dropped by this year. So that's a nice. That is a nice shout out. Also has Josh Scott on here. Ola England. I don't know. I've never met Ola. I like his channel. Jared Dines. I know. I've never spoken to Jared. I've texted with him before, but Jared's a great guy and has been is a veteran YouTuber. Let's see who else is on here. The guys from that pedal show, Daniel and Mick. Yes, of course. Then Rhett is on there. Rhett Shull. And Sophie Burrell. I don't know Sophie. Chris Buck. Of course I know Chris. Chris is a great guitar player. And I think that's it. Let's see here. And here's some people that I should probably have on my channel. Some of these people. At some point, I used to do a lot of interviews with YouTubers at the beginning of my channel. I've always done interviews on my channel. It's funny because over the last, few months or so, last 6 months or so, people say, "Oh, Rick, Rick's doing a lot of interviews," and people I think really like my interviews. But historically, on my channel, starting right at the beginning, my first interview was probably 6 months into my channel, and is with Steve Vai. I interviewed Steve Vai. I interviewed John Petrucci, Jordan Rudess. I interviewed Dweezil Zappa. I interviewed Marty Friedman, Dennis Chambers. I interviewed Victor Wooten. Oh, God, Victor's been on my channel probably 3 times. I interviewed Adam Neely. I interviewed Amy Nolte. I interviewed Tyler from Music Is Win. I interviewed a ton of YouTubers. So I've always done interviews on my channel. I interviewed Joe Satriani. I mean, later on, I did Satch. I did Eric Johnson. I interviewed Frank Gambale, Larry Carlton. But I'm talking early on. I interviewed all these people, and I called it Sounding Off. That was the name of the thing. Now, I see on here Mary Spender and Nare. I've been on Mary's channel. Nare and I have made 2 videos together. I had Nare on very early in my channel. Mary, I don't know if Mary's been on my channel or not, but I've definitely been on Mary's channel, I think twice. I've been with Paul Davids. I've been with Marty Schwartz has been here. Man. Obviously, Tim Pierce. Tim and I have made many videos together. Keith Williams, 5 Watt World, who's one of my best friends. Rhett has been on here a million times, and Dave Honorado. Brian May. Miles Kennedy. Wow, that's a lot of... I'm missing about 100 different people. Sean Daniel, I've definitely been on Sean's channel. I think Sean's been on my channel. Phil X, Tosin, Tim Henson, Pete Thorne. I'm just thinking about last New Year's Eve. Phil X, Pete Thorne, Tim Pierce, Tosin, one other person I had on. Maybe it was. Oh, and it was Keith, Peter Frampton, Pliny, Aaron Marshall, Tom Quayle. Have I had Tom? I've been on Tom's podcast. I don't know if I've had Tom on my channel before. But this is, my channel is Ron Carter. Oh my God, one of my favorite interviews that I did. I probably have had, I bet I've done at least 50 interviews on my channel, something like that. And Steve Lukather, another one. That's pretty good. There's other ones. Michael Palmisano. Michael's been on my channel. He's been here. Joni Mitchell, John Anderson. I interviewed John Anderson. I keep seeing Alan Parsons on here. Jeff Lynne and Peter Gabriel. Those would be great interviews, obviously. I'm working on these. Antonio Sanchez I interviewed. Jeff Berlin I interviewed. Wow. Gary Husband I interviewed. You don't remember interviewing Alan Parsons? I never interviewed Alan Parsons. Paul McCartney. I honestly, full transparency, I reached out to Paul's publicist, and the publicist said something like Paul's not doing interviews or something, which of course is not true. Paul's doing interviews, but he just is not doing interviews with me. I'm looking it up here. Paul McCartney. He just wrote me the other day. Paul McCartney interview. He says, I'm afraid that Paul is not considering interview requests at present. Okay. The guy said that I wrote to his publicist says, I've heard of you. Congrats on your success. I'm afraid, however, Paul is not considering interview requests at this time. That's actually not true. I've seen Paul on being interviewed recently a lot. Obviously, because of the Get Back movie, I think. Roger Waters, Geddy Lee, Steve Hackett. That would be a really interesting interview. Jeff Beck. What's up, Chad? Jeff Beck is a tough one. Could I interview Keith Jarrett? Well, that would be pretty much up there with anybody. Interviewing Keith Jarrett. Man. Herbie Hancock. These are these are people that would be unbelievable. Let's see. Jay Sullivan, 2112. Rick, I'm wondering if you're a fan of Elliott Smith. I am. Think you'd be right up your alley. Very tasty progressions. I've never made a video on Elliott Smith. Not for any particular reason. But I will, I would think. John McLaughlin, I tried to get an interview with him, and it didn't work out at the time. Tom York would be great. Chris Novoselic would be great. Quincy Jones, yeah. Chrissy Hine, Al Di Meola. I am going to interview Al. I spoke to Al, and we're going to do an interview together. Oh, Al is just killing it. If you follow him on Instagram, here we go, Instagram again. But Al is just, he's playing so well, man. He's really sounding great. Lee Scalar I interviewed. I see Lee on there. James Taylor, Carol Kay, Elliot Easton, David Gilmour. I mean, these are people. Tom Schultz. If I could get in touch with these people, I would interview them. I would. Mark Knopfler, his manager said he's not doing interviews now. There's my full transparency. So, Stevie Wonder would be amazing. Neil Young, Stanley Clark. Yeah, there's a lot of great people to obviously to talk to. Let's see, Santana. Yes, Flea, Taylor Swift. Okay. Paul Simon. That's not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I talked to Paul's. Was it Paul's manager? I thought that was a possibility, but it doesn't look like it. You have to get people right at the right time. Most of the people I've interviewed are people that honestly watch my channel. And for people that watch YouTube, they know about YouTubers, and it's not weird to them. But for people that don't watch YouTube, managers and things like that, especially if older artists, they don't get YouTube at all. And that's totally fine. I understand that. But there's they don't get the reach of YouTube. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. A video, let's take Sting, for example. If Sting does an interview with, I don't know, Rolling Stone or what the LA Times, let's say, right? Or the New York Times or whatever, right? It's a one-day story. That's it. There's no algorithm associated with it, unless, of course, they put it on YouTube. But when Sting when Sting is on my channel, the algorithm associated with it, because of the way that YouTube works, is that it will eventually serve it out to any person that has ever watched a police video, a Sting video, a Sting interview, anything about Sting. It'll get pushed out, but not just one time, forever. My video, top 20 drum intros that I did, you guys remember when I was doing all those 2 years ago, 2019? So that video came out in September, I think, of 2019. The video has had over 1 million views in the past 2 months. That video. 2-year-old video that you probably have forgotten was on my channel, right? Like top 20 acoustic guitar intros. These things get millions of views a year, these videos. The Sting video, is getting, 20,000 views a day still? And how long ago was it out? A month ago? I don't even remember. Something like that, a month? But it will keep getting views, right? And this is the thing about why these guys like McCartney, if their publicist understood YouTube, they would use YouTube differently. They'd realize that it's a really viable way to get in front of people that are fans of them. And if you have a big channel, I mean, honestly, I don't know if it even matters that it's a big channel. Just because you have a big channel doesn't necessarily mean that you get a lot of views on videos. I have plenty of videos like my live streams, for example, that'll go and, that some will get very few views. If I do a music theory live stream or something like that, it depends on what it is. If it's very basic music theory, those things will do really well. But the more esoteric it is, the smaller the audience, right? But for someone that has a massive name, is one of the most famous people out there. I mean, most of the people that are on here that you're mentioning on my channel would be, their videos would keep getting suggested over and over and over. Who are people that I would like to interview? I mentioned that the last time I was on here, I'd like to interview some film composers, Thomas Newman, John Williams. I mean, I'd like to interview many film composers. I'd like to interview Hans Zimmer. But the kind of people that I want to interview are the, David Gilmour, Jimmy Page, all the classic guitar players, Jeff Beck, Howard Shore. I'd love to interview Howard Shore. Danny Elfman. These would be great. I'd like to interview Andy Wallace. I've tried to get interviews with Andy Wallace many, many, many times and just never. I cannot find it. I've called his manager and I've written to him, oh my God, 10 times over the course of 5 years. Nothing. Never got a response. And Andy's retired. So I don't know why Andy wouldn't, want to come on and do an interview. It would be oh man, it'd be so cool. Anyway, so let's see, Guthrie. I've reached out to Guthrie, and Guthrie's always respectful about getting back. Guthrie doesn't do many interviews. Guthrie Govan, one of my favorite guitar players. Guthrie, I eventually probably will get him to come on the channel at some point. I hope. I hope there's a Pat Metheny interview number 2. We talked about it after the interview that day. So we'll see what happens. I tried Donald Fagen. No luck there. Not interested. I don't know if it's not interested or just not on his radar. So that's kind of I'm constantly working on this stuff. Some people have bookers. That's a job. Somebody that actually books talent to come on things. I don't have bookers. I everybody that I've had come on my channel, for the most part, I've had followed my channel first and reached out to me, or through so that's kind of if you have to explain to people what YouTube is and why it's important, it makes it very, very difficult. Really does. I'm working on the Joni interview. I see Rick asked about that. I'm working on the Joni interview. Joni's been busy. I mean, she just got a Kennedy Center award, and she's honestly been really busy since the last time that I talked to her. She's doing stuff all the time. So I think that can happen. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying. So the other thing that I've been approached about, I mentioned it here, I think last time I was on, but approached about doing a live show. So I got approached by some guys at Live Nation, the New York office of it, about taking my show live in front of an audience. They asked me if I would be interested in that. Thank you, Martin. Appreciate that. If I'd be interested in trying it out. And I said, what do you mean? This is just do your show live in front of an audience, and in New York City. And I figured that, well, there's probably a pretty good, I mean, you don't know with YouTube analytics how many people actually live in the New York area or close to New York City, but you got to figure out of 2.7 million, 46% of the people that watch my channel live in the United States. Okay, so let's divide that up. So let's say 1.3 million live in the United States. Out of that, how many live in one of the two biggest cities? If you take LA and New York, you got to figure has to be how many people that live in that area. I don't know, a few 100,000, something like that. So the place that they talked about is a 500-seat venue. I don't want to name it. And they're talking about March. They proposed some dates in March. Who would come out to that, and what would a 90-minute Rick Beato live show look like? I mean, some of it, 30 minutes of it, would be a Q&A, which would be live, which would be amazing, I think, to talk to people. I read your comments, but I don't hear your voices, and I'd love to hear your voices. It would be absolutely fascinating. How many people live in the New York area that would come to this? Okay, there might be special guests. I don't know. I'm in New York. I'd grow Andrew, 1965. I'm talking about people that live in these areas that subscribe to my channel, right? You got to figure people that subscribe to my channel, that out of 1.3 million people in the United States, how many people live in the New York area or driving distance to New York City? Probably a lot. It'd be like a TED Talk, yes. Craig just said like a TED Talk, yes. I would think the beginning would be something like that. Maybe part of it would be a what makes this song great. Admission, yes, it'd be admission. That's the idea of it. If I did 90 minutes of whiteboard, Andrew, no, I would not do whiteboard there, but I would have a video screen. I would play video. I'd talk about things. I'd probably start out with something that is like a TED Talk, though, just in the first part of it. Would there be some live music? Probably, I would think. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm on here right now. I'm kind of trying to poll people and see what would a live show be like. Think master class, okay? Oh, let's see. Have Tommy Emmanuel there as a guest. Let's see here. You could finally play some Beatles tunes without getting blocked. That is true. Rick, don't do it. All they're looking for is to have control over you. Come on, it's ridiculous. They don't control anything. I know the people, actually. One of my best friends is one of the people that works there. He's one of my oldest friends. He's the one that actually suggested it to me, and that he thinks I should do it. Somebody asked. I'm going to go back to this question here about. Do I have a vocal booth here? Yes. I'd like to hear your opinions on air conditioning in the booth without ruining the records with background noise. So you have things called plenums that are ways to run air conditioning through with vents that are insulated that run in different directions and spill the air out so that it doesn't make any sound. You got to be really mindful of where vents go in recording studios because you don't want air blowing on microphones and you don't want to hear air conditioner sound. So those are things to, but they have things called plenums that are ways to direct the airflow so that you don't have AC noise. But where I have 1, 2, 3 registers right here, 1, 2, 3, right above me, I never hear any noise from them. You guys ever hear any noise? If you hear any noise, you're hearing noise from the fan in the computer. Jim says, bring in a band, have them play pieces of tunes as you talk about them. Great idea. Andrew says, a live show would attract those names you're having trouble. Well, yeah, okay. Maybe it would. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think the idea is to see how many people would come out to see me on a live show, and if it's something that could grow into something bigger, then maybe some of these people might come on, and it would be a live interview with be a live interview. I mean, I can imagine. Okay, let's just say Jimmy Page. If I was interviewing Jimmy Page, I would have Jimmy. Jimmy in my imagination would have an amp, a few guitars, his main guitars, and we would do stuff kind of like he did on It Might Get Loud, but where I would talk to him more about his. Oh my God, I have so many questions to ask Jimmy Page. That would be, and it would be way better than It Might Get Loud. No offense to It Might Get Loud. I loved It Might Get Loud, but it's like when Jimmy's there playing the stuff, and the other guys are looking at him like, how do you not know how to play these Zeppelin songs, you guys? I mean, come on. He's playing. He's having to explain how to play a Cashmere to Edge and Jack White. It's like, come on, dudes. Dadgad. Like, how do you play guitar and not know those things? Especially if you're playing that long, from that long ago. I think that's pretty funny. Musicians without cars who can't afford coffee. There you go. I know, like Jimmy can't figure out Seven Nation Army. Jimmy's a pro. Um, Maybe a show with all the forgotten 90 musicians you play. Rick, be interested in discussing some of the late Stephen Sondheim's very interesting music. Yes, it would. His harmonies are in the stratosphere. Yes. Rick, what makes a song great about with an obscure unsigned bands? Oh my God, I get asked this all the time. I get emails from people, and it's like people won't watch things from bands they don't know. They just won't, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't watch things from bands I don't know, really, even if I liked my channel. Somebody says Jimmy Page read music. Of course, Jimmy Page reads music. I'm sure he does. I know John Paul Jones does. What's my favorite music biopic? Oh, geez, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Watch so many of them. My favorite? I'll think about that. Man, this is insane. David Foster interview, please. Who cares who reads music? I'm just reading questions here. What do I think of Derek Trucks? Oh my God, he's amazing. Love Derek Trucks. Please interview Pete Cetera. I would really like to interview Pete Cetera. Craig says Jimmy Page had to read charts when he was 15 years old doing sessions. Jimmy Page reads charts. Of course he does. Jimmy Page knows how to read. Interview a musician who can't read music. There's plenty of musicians that can't read music that are some of my favorite players, like Wes Montgomery. Wes Montgomery understood music, knew chord progressions, knew scales, knew arpeggios, all that stuff. You can do that and not know how to read music. Reading music is really not a huge necessity. Whoever keeps pasting in Buckethead in capital letters, stop doing that. I see it every time. Paul McCartney can't read music. Exactly. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Paul McCartney probably took piano lessons when he was a kid. He probably did read. Let's see here. Slash, yeah. Pete Townsend would be a great interview. I'd love to interview Pete Townsend. I've tried to reach out to Pete Townsend, but don't know how. Do not know how. People keep asking me if I've ever listened to Julian Lange. Kevin, are you the same person that keeps pasting that same thing in there? I don't know Julian Lange. I think he's a great guitar player. Don't know him at all. And frankly would not know how to get in touch with him either. Andy Summers would be great. I'd love to interview The Edge. Absolutely love to interview The Edge. I'd love to interview you too. Dave Grohl. Have no connection with Dave Grohl. Don't know anyone that knows Dave Grohl, believe it or not. I don't think. Well, I mean, I know people that know Dave Grohl, but they're not people that I could ask that know Dave Grohl well. So, Scott Henderson, I've had on my channel. Somebody said Scott Henderson. I've had Scott on my channel. Interview with him. Harper, you're watching. There you go. Tom Bukovac. Have I had Tom? I've definitely been on videos with Tom. I love Tom's guitar playing. He's amazing. I'll have Tom on a video. I'm gonna go up to Nashville and do some stuff, and I'll definitely have Tom on a video. Um, Tom Schultz keeps coming up in here. He's definitely a person I would love to. I mean, of all people, especially, Tom's in his mid 70s. There's a lot of things that Tom knows that I would like to know about making those Boston records, about that first Boston record. Things that I feel are not uh, are not easily available. I have seen some interviews with him, but to me, there's just so much stuff that's not been asked. So much stuff that's not been asked. I'd really like to re-interview Ron Carter and do it properly with a proper film crew. I really wish that I had done that the first time I interviewed Ron. That was one of my favorite interviews that I did. And some of these jazz guys like Ron and Herbie and Wayne Shorter, I would love to do. There's a yeah, those are things that to me would be great. Bonnie Raitt, oh man. What's up, Hector? Good to see you. I put the Iden thing up. I did, yes. Jimmy Cobb. Jimmy Cobb is no longer with us, but I did make a video honoring Jimmy Cobb that very few people watched. Actually, I was really, I knew that it wasn't going to be a big video, but I thought that more people would. I couldn't. I couldn't make a clickbait video about Jimmy Cobb, right? There was nothing. Jimmy Cobb played with Miles. Jimmy Cobb played with Wes. Jimmy Cobb played on so many of my favorite records. Jazz drummer. I got to meet Jimmy Cobb when I taught at the New School for a semester in 1988, and he was teaching there at the time. And I was a massive fan. I'm making a video about Mike Brecker right now that is almost finished, who I had the great fortune of meeting and getting to know a little bit. I'm making a video about that. Mike Brecker that passed away in 2007. I've interviewed Robin Ford. Jamie just posted Robin Ford. Robin Ford's another person that I've interviewed on my channel. Steve Gadd, I would love to interview. Definitely. That would be amazing. Dweezil, I've had on my channel. Tony Levin, I'd love to have on. Bjork, I would love to interview. Adam Jones. I don't know if I could get Adam. I've asked Adam before. I think Adam would do it. Let's see here. Alt Grendel says, like to see part 2 of John Anderson interview for completeness. Man, this is insane. I've got as many people on here as on the main channel yesterday. This is crazy. I mean, this is really crazy. Sinister Gates, Sin, I've had on my channel like 5 times. I just talked to him, 2 days ago? 3 days ago? Had a great conversation with him. He's doing some really cool stuff. He's a great dude. I've known him for most of my channel. Sinister Gates. I mean, what a great musician, great person. Really like him. He's and his dad is an excellent guitar player. His dad Brian is a great jazz guitar player. Thank you, Justine. Appreciate that. I should do a retrospective on Hiram Bullock. Bill Frisell, there you go. John Mayer. Alex Van Halen, yes. Matthew. Did I see the Sparks documentary? I did not know. Wolfgang. I'd like to have Wolfgang on. He'd be great. Wolfgang's a great guy. Van Halen. John Patitucci. Don't know anyone that knows John. I mean, I probably do. George Benson. Oh my God, I'd love to have George Benson on. Jeez. I mean, this is insane how many people are chiming in here. Pasquale Grasso. Oh, he's a great guitar player. Woo! Man, he is a great guitar player. Jeez. Ringo Starr would be a great interview. I've been watching so many Beatles interviews lately. A lot of Beatles interviews. Somebody said that Adam and Justin Chancellor, that would be great having both of them together. What else here? Dan Huff. You know, I don't know Dan. I know Bobby, his cousin, who's a really good friend of mine, who I just hung out with when I was in Nashville about 2 weeks ago or so. And I talk to Bobby all the time. Dear friend. Joe B says, you mentioned an interview with Geddy Lee and Alex. I wish that would happen. Eric says, love your videos. Would you consider video dedicated to key changes from choruses, middle eights? That's actually a great topic. That's a great topic. Really great topic. Steve Lukather, I've definitely had on. Pokip. Thank you very much. Todd Bernstein. What do I think of Aphex Twin or Square Pusher? I probably don't have we should do something like that where we actually listen to some of these records like that. This would actually be a great use of this, is to take some bands, either of those bands, and play music. I just open up Spotify. We can talk about it. Instead of playing, there's a lot of great kind of indie music. There's a lot of great EDM music that we could listen to on here. Things that have artists that have followings but are not huge, like the kind of more household band things that I've done on here. The things that I've done that have been more obscure was like my interview with Adam Franklin from Swerve Driver. But like Tame Impala, that would be another band that is a big band as an indie band, huge band. Whoever keeps typing in Tom Bukovac, I've already talked about Tom, and I will have Tom on. I've been on Tom's channel before, I want to say. I've been on some video with Tom. I don't know if I was on his channel, but I will have Tom on, so you can stop pasting it in there. Let's see here. Could I do an interview with John McLaughlin? You know, um, I tried to get an interview actually through Gary Husband, and Gary tried to help me get an interview with John, and it just didn't work out. John wasn't doing interviews at the time, or John was burned out or something on doing interviews at the time. This is a couple years ago or so. So that's why that didn't happen. Baki Paroli, thank you. Appreciate that. Is it Baki's? Am I saying that right? Brian, thank you so much. But getting back to playing music and of some groups, now that would be, playing obscure stuff and making videos about it is one thing. Listening to stuff like I do on this channel a lot is not a weird thing. That's actually a very normal thing. We've listened to music and everything. I don't want to deal with getting my video blocked right now, so that's why I'm not going to play anything, and I don't know what's going to get it blocked. I've had some stuff blocked. What have I had blocked recently? I had some video taken down. I don't even make videos about it when I have things taken down anymore. It's it's kind of a waste of an upload, honestly, to do that. Guy Pratt, bass player, YouTuber. I've seen Guy's channel before. Don't really know him. Let's see, Butch Walker. I'd like to have Butch on. Butch is an old friend of mine from here in Atlanta. Cat's out of the bag with this channel. We had some great times. JG, I know, right? Hold on. Dave, would love to see you cover the musical style. Let's see, he died in 2008. Left an amazing Esbjorn Svensson Trio. I have to check it out. Honestly, I don't know who that is. When was Marty Schwartz on? Oh geez. Maybe I was on Marty's channel. I've had Marty. We've been on the same videos. I've had Marty, or maybe I've been on Marty's channel a couple of times, or I think Marty's been on this channel. I can't even remember. Thank you, Addie. Appreciate that. It's honestly, I've did so many things here that I don't even remember what. If you just Google these pieces, like Adam Neely, I saw people mention Adam in here. I've done probably 7 videos with Adam, at least. My God, the first time I had Adam on was in 2016, and Adam looks like a little kid. I mean, Adam's probably 31. He was probably 25 or so, but he looked like he was about 18 at the time. Mary Spender, to give her some exposure. I talked about Mary. Mary did a video, and she used my whole thing where I was talking about her channel. She took the whole intro to my video and put it on there where I'm talking about her. R. Kaler says, how would I distinguish Nashville, Austin, Atlanta, the respective music scenes? Oh geez. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They're very, very different music scenes. Very different. Nothing really alike, I don't think. I see Mateus Asado on here. Mateus I'll have on. I will definitely have Mateus on. I love Mateus. Oh, he's such a great player. Terrence from New Zealand. Love your channel and the learning you give. How many people are not subscribed to this channel that are watching here? I think that I had it set to where people had to, in order to comment, you had to be a subscriber for 5 minutes. Whoever keeps pasting John Shanks in there, stop pasting it in. I see it. I'm friends with John. John plays with Phil in in Bon Jovi and has for years. John's a great guitar player. John's a great guy. Let's see, Bruce Springsteen. Let's see here. My God, I don't even have my. I'm not a musician, but a big fan of your channel. Awesome, thank you, Frank. How many people are not musicians and watch this? This is really. I know, Rob, you've been subscribed since the first live stream. I know that. How many people here are not even musicians but watch my channel? I'm really curious about that. I'm going to put my glasses on for this. Let's see here. 20 years of playing. Me can't. Let's see. I try. Please produce me. The Ray. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, the Ray. Just thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is too fast. I have it on slow motion too. My God. It's ridiculous. David, any thoughts you'll see more Nirvana analysis in the future? Of course, always a chance to see Nirvana. I love doing Nirvana analysis. You know what? I've never used a done a community post on this channel. I'm Rick Beato 2. I'm going to do a community post on here and talk about and do a poll on what people would like to see me do for a live show, because it would really be helpful if people would help me out with that. You are loved, Beato. Yo-Yo Ma, not a musician. There we go. Not Yo-Yo Ma, not a musician. Yo-Yo Ma is a great musician. Jack Wilkins. Oh my God, I haven't seen Jack Wilkins play since I want to say that I played with Jack in the 80s when I was at Ithaca. I think he came and was a guest soloist with the big band or something. And I might have played with him at a gig. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett, I made margaritas for when I was a bartender on this boat. And I cannot remember. This is very unlike me. I cannot remember the name of the boat that I was a bartender on. That my friend Lisa got me a gig. She was like, "Do you bartend?" I said, "No." She goes, "Okay, perfect." And got me a job in New York City in 1993 or 94. And the captain of the boat was from Mississippi, and he was friends with Jimmy Buffett. And he said to me, "Jimmy Buffett's taking the boat overnight. It's going to be a 2-day trip. And you need to learn how to make margaritas." I said, "Okay." So the captain taught me how to make margaritas because I was going to make margaritas for Jimmy Buffett. But on this trip, on the boat, the band that came on that night was G.E. Smith, his band. I know. William Kip Miller says, Rick can't remember something. I don't know why I don't remember the name of this boat. I probably will remember it. But there was a guy, Rich Bose, that worked there, and his brother worked there, and I need to email Rich. And then Lisa was she was the maitre d'. She's the one that got me the gig. What was the name of the boat? Anyways, so Jimmy Buffett got on. G.E. Smith was in the house band. He had a 5-piece band or so. On the ship was Jan Werner from Rolling Stone, Lorne Michaels, the ship. It was a boat. It was like a 160 passenger boat. We were on the top deck. I was bartending outside. It was in New York. It started out at the World Trade Center. and went around. Normally, it would go around up around the end of Manhattan, then up the East River, and then come back down and come back to there. It'd be like a 2-hour trip. It'd go out to the Statue of Liberty, and I would bartend on it. They'd make a really nice meal, and the Titanic, yeah, that's what it was called. Anyway, so Jimmy rented it for 2 days, so the people slept on the boat, and Jimmy hung out. We talked for hours, and I remember he gave everybody on the boat a really hip, like, knapsack bag, really nice bag that I had for years. I remember taking it to Europe with me, and it was very cool. He was such a nice guy. Oh man, and he sat in and played. I mean, this was awesome. This was awesome. So that was cool. So that's my that was my thing, is that I was always proud of that. My one thing as a bartender was making. That was the height of my career as a bartender, making margaritas for Jimmy Buffett. I mean, does it really get any bigger than that? I can't. I'm trying to think. What is the Edmund Fitzgerald? That was not the name of it. Armchair rocker, man. The Edmund Fitzgerald. What was the name of this boat? Oh my God! I have a picture of me on it too, bartending. I always thought about. It wasn't Circle Line Cruise. No, it was some. That was one of the cruise ships that did go around New York. That was one of them. That was nice. This was not even a fancy boat. It was not even a fancy boat. It was the SS Minnow. Oh man, the Mayflower. Wait a second, was that it? No, I'm just joking. The Mayflower. The Staten Island Ferry. No. Oh boy, this is driving me nuts. What was the name of this boat? How can I not? I have such a good memory for things, and I could probably draw the boat. I remember everything about this boat except for the name of it. I'm going to figure it out. I am going to figure it out. Obviously, there's no one that was in New York at the time. The SS Minnow. SS Boomer Bend. I figure that somebody on here is someone on here is got on this boat in New York City in 1993 or 94. It was yeah, okay. I'm going to think of it. Called Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett would remember the name of the boat. I bet he would. He was really good friends with the captain. But I will find it out. So much for collective intelligence, exactly, right? I know two people. The cook on the ship was American. He and his brother were on there, and they went to live in Ireland when they were kids. And he was friends with U2. He went to high school with U2 in Dublin. He was their age, and he knew them. He was there. He was there at the very beginning of U2. He had some amazing U2 stories. The Mariner 3? That might have been it. The Mariner 3. That sounds familiar. Yeah. The Mariner 3. That I don't know why that rings a bell. Huh. Anyway, so this is wow. That's really tough. I thought about this every time I think about the World Trade Center, because I would get off there at the train stop. I walked by the base, the buildings, and look up, and I always think, oh my God, what did it take to construct these buildings? And the docks were, 5 minute walk from there, so 8 minute walk, something like that. I lived up on the I've said this before. I lived on First Ave, pretty close to the corner of St. Mark's, and so I would take the train down, and when 9/11 happened, and I was on a plane. I was on a plane on 9/11. I never told that story. I don't think. Have I told that story? I was flying to San Francisco on 9/11 at 8:10 in the morning. My plane left. I sprinted to make the flight. That's when you hardly had to go through security. Oh my God, I ran from the economy parking thing. I was going to work with a band in San Francisco. And I was sick. I had a bad cold. And if I've told this story before, I'm going to tell it again, because it was a really incredible day, terrible day. I took a Benadryl, and I fell asleep, and at, I don't know, 8:50 or so, captain came on and said, we have to make an emergency landing. It was a beautiful Tuesday morning, sunny. We were over, we had just gotten past Alabama, and we made an emergency landing in Little Rock. But it was 45 minutes of terror, honestly, because you didn't know why. I thought there was something wrong with the plane. He didn't say anything. And the flight attendants were really really nervous. There was only about 60 people on the plane. A huge, whatever it was, 757 or something. And the flight attendants put the drink carts in front of the cockpit door, which I thought was really strange. Like, why are they doing that? And then I asked the one flight attendant, is this normal? And she said no. And she had a really scared look on her face. Anyways, we made an emergency landing in Little Rock, and I got out of the plane, and I went in, and the captain said, you'll always remember where you were. Call your family and let them know. If you have a cell phone, it was 2001. If you have a cell phone, call your family and let them know you're okay. And I called my parents, and told them that I was okay. And I said, the captain said 2 planes have just hit the World Trade Center. My dad said, plane just hit the Pentagon. And I said, a plane hit the Pentagon. All these people that were sitting around me was like, what? I said, yeah, my dad just said, he's watching it on TV. And then I went into the concourse there in Little Rock, and everybody was glued to the TVs, and I saw the first tower fall, and I thought of that. I thought of oh, just horrible, horrible. Boy, that was wow. Somebody says, Rick, how old are you? Okay, yeah, I don't want to think. That was one of the worst days ever. Anyways, I didn't mean to bring the tone of everything down, but being a New Yorker, I'm from upstate New York, but I had a lot of friends that lived in New York City, that lived in Manhattan, and some of which are not with us. And my friend Roger, who was my roommate when I was lived on First Ave, he's no longer with us. He died of cancer in 2011. And he lived in Union Square at that time, and he was 51. Anyways, Roger was what a great guy. There's a couple things I missed here. Damien says, have I ever thought about doing a theme from Shaft? Is what makes the song great? Never thought about that. I think I've been asked that before, though. Brian, not a musician, but music changed my life. Now Rogers would be a wicked interview. So much agency with so many legends. That's true. Scott, just curious, what model is that digital piano next to you? How do we like it? Merry Christmas. Okay, the model of digital piano is a Native Instruments. Honestly, and I don't know anyone at Native Instruments, but I'm pretty disappointed with it, I have to say. As soon as I got it, one of the screens failed on it and got it just stopped. It didn't work. It's like got cloudy, okay, and then. Now, one of the high notes, like the high A flat, does not work anymore. I'm really disappointed. Mariner 3, Anton, I think it was the Mariner 3. I'm almost positive that's right. Tony, you were at ground zero 72 hours for EMS. Oh, man. Wow. Can't even imagine that. Keith asked when my Gibson is due out. Next summer. Probably August. Everything is pushed back about a year. Everything's pushed back. If I had to make a margarita again, could I? Probably not. I'd have to think about that. What is going to be your next keyboard? Rob asked me what is going to be my next keyboard. I don't know what my next keyboard's going to be, but I'm going to get it soon. I wish, honestly, that I had exchanged this when I got it, because that screen broke really soon after I got it. As far as the feel of the keyboard, I think it's excellent. So, I want to have an 88 key controller. I don't use a lot of the functions that come with Native Instruments. I have a real grand piano, Helium Road. It's right over there, 5 feet from me, but it doesn't MIDI. Stuart, you're going to buy the Beato Gibson as it's available? Yes. By the way, I'll say it one more time now. There's 813 people on, but I'm having a sale. I brought back my my ultimate bundles sale for Christmas. It's oh my gosh. So check it out. Kevin, thank you so much. Rick, I love your channels. Bought all your stuff. You rock. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Never gotten a super chat that big, Kevin. That's incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Huh. Did I ever see Adam Jones' signature guitar? I did see it. Signature. Oh, video. No, I did. I did see it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Yep. I never played his signature guitar though, but I saw them making. I saw them making his. The Mariner 3. That was definitely the boat. That was definitely the boat. Would I interview Kenny Barron or Keith Jarrett? I would interview both of them. Oh my God. Definitely. Okay. So I've been on for a long time here. I better go. Hour and 16 minutes. This has been amazing. This video is done as well as one of my main channel. Thank you for the super chats. Like the video, subscribe if you don't subscribe. You guys are amazing. I don't know why I have more fun doing videos on this channel because it's just so much more laid back. I have some stuff I'm going to post on here coming up. I'm going to get back to posting on here. So I just said, Brad, my signature guitar probably in August of next year because they're about 18 months behind Gibson is on stuff. Rob, great to see you. Everybody, we'll talk soon. Take care. Have a great evening.